Google just printed the best quarter in its 27-year history.
Alphabet's first $100 billion quarter. CEO Sundar Pichai credited the beat to Alphabet's full-stack AI, touching a $4.8 trillion market cap.
But here's what nobody can agree on right now. Is this the beginning of Google's AI dominance or the top before the fall? Because every previous time a tech monopoly looked this unbeatable, it got destroyed by a new technology. Yahoo was the front page of the internet. But then Google killed it. BlackBerry once made 50% of US smartphones, but then Apple killed it. And right now, two things are coming for Google at once. ChatGPT is eating search from above, 900 million users in under 3 years, which is faster than any major invention ever. And Nvidia is eating Google's margins from below, because every dollar spent on AI flows through Nvidia's checkbook first. Because 1 year ago, if you told the average analyst that Google would be worth $4.8 trillion, they would have laughed at you. The consensus going into 2026 was clean, and on paper, it was solid. Because on one hand, ChatGPT was killing search. They have almost a billion users who began skipping Google for ChatGPT. For a company where search ads are 67% of revenue, that was supposed to be a death sentence. Not to mention, AI overviews were cannibalizing Google's own ad inventory. The fear was that even if Google won AI, the AI summaries at the top of search results answered users' questions without a single click on the links underneath. Google could never win the AI war, because giving people instant answers doesn't pay like ad clicks do. And argument 3 was that the Nvidia tax was about to crush margins. Because Google is committing $180 billion to AI capex this year, which is double last year. The bear thesis said most of it would flow to Nvidia, compressing Google's high-margin software model into a capex-heavy commodity business. That was a consensus, which made the case that Google had peaked and couldn't win AI. But they completely flipped the script with their latest earnings, because every single argument got hit hard. On ChatGPT killing search revenue didn't decline. It actually grew 19% to over 60 billion. Search queries are at an all-time high because AI overviews and AI mode are driving more usage. The bear case said ChatGPT was eating search, but in reality, AI was making search bigger because Google's AI is now built into the search experience. And on AI overviews killing ad inventory, AI overviews now serve over 2 billion monthly users. Google also revealed they're monetizing it at a similar rate to traditional search. That's the exact opposite of what bears expected to happen, because Google figured out how to put ads inside the AI overviews. And on the Nvidia tax compressing margins, this is the one no one saw coming. Google didn't just absorb the AI costs, they're actually crushing them. After upgrading their responses to Gemini 3, Google reduced the cost of core AI responses by over 30% in a single quarter. That's because they started making their own chips in-house. And the receipt for all of this is that Google Cloud revenues grew 63% to 20 billion. They now have a backlog of 460 billion, and their net income is up 81% year over year. But this is where the story gets ridiculous, because to win AI long-term, you need to own the entire stack, from the chips at the bottom to the products at the top. Most companies only own 1 or 2 layers, but Google is the only company on Earth that owns the entire stack. Think of it as 3 tiers. First, the foundation tier. Every AI workload starts with a chip, but Google's been making their own since 2016 called TPUs. This year, they'll ship 4 million. By 2028, they'll ship over 7 million. These chips are used by Anthropic and Meta, and also sit inside Google Cloud. So, while Google is still printing money from their other businesses, they're also becoming another Nvidia by selling their own GPUs. Next, the brain tier, which includes models and the interface. Because while most companies have one frontier AI model, Google has 2. Gemini plus a roughly 14% stake in Anthropic, the company that just hit a $1 trillion valuation faster than any startup in history. Not to mention, Gemini and Anthropic are both rapidly catching up to ChatGPT in terms of market share. ChatGPT spent 3 years and tens of billions of dollars in marketing to gain users. Google's interface ships pre-installed on basically every device. And lastly, there's the Empire tier, where AI turns into cash. YouTube has 2.7 billion users and 25 years of human attention data, and Waymo runs on over 500,000 autonomous rides every week. So Google has a credible position on all 3 tiers. But consider the competitors. Microsoft owns 2 layers, Meta also owns 2, OpenAI owns 1, and so does Nvidia. Now look at how the market is pricing all of this. At a $4.6 trillion market cap, Google trades at a forward price to earnings ratio of about 28. That sounds expensive until you compare it to the company right next to it on the leaderboard. Apple trades at a higher forward PE than Google, but here's the difference. Apple's revenue is growing slowly because the iPhone is a mature product in a saturated market. Google just grew revenue 22% and net income 81% in a single year. Not to mention, buried inside Google's valuation are its stakes in SpaceX, Anthropic, YouTube, Waymo, and Cloud. conservatively worth almost $2 trillion combined. SpaceX alone is IPOing at a $2 trillion valuation, and Anthropic just hit $1 trillion. None of that growth is reflected in their current multiples. So here's the actual bet you're making with Google, because 5 years from now, they're one of two stories. Either they're a $10 trillion company that won the AI war because of their full stack AI, or they're the next case study in how dominant tech monopolies die when their platform shifts.